Dan approached me in the early part of this century, 2001, 2002, and started talking about his idea that it would be a great thing to eventually do l'Orfeo. I, of course, was flattered. I was, of course, a little bit daunted because Orfeo is about the greatest singer in the history of mankind, able to go down into the underworld and bring people back to the world of the living just by the power of his singing, able to tame wild beasts. It's one of those seminal works that redefined what music was capable of. The moment where the Messaggera comes in and says that EURIDICE is dead. It's one of the great entrances of all time, and it's played by a mezzo-soprano in this version of the recording, and it's totally captivating. It's one of the examples of this style of singing, of this blending of words and music, which is this heightened emotional thing, which turned into the opera aria of Verdi and Puccini, this extreme moment in the existence of a human being.
Donne vieni, ove vai, ninfa che porti. A te ne vengo Orfeo, messaggera infelice, di caso è più infelice.
When Orfeo is in the underworld and he's actually come to the Styx and come to the guardian of the Styx and is singing his song about trying to persuade the guardian to let him by so that he can go down into hell and rescue Euridice. And then that aria is called Possente Spirito. And Possente Spirito is one of the famous examples that's taught in the early stages of opera history because it's an example of what Monteverdi perhaps wanted most of his aria writing to sound like, because it exists with two staves for the voice. There's the simple version for the tenor with big white whole notes and several words underneath. And underneath that stave, there's another stave with an ornamented version of that line that is incredibly detailed, many notes. And I don't believe it's known whether this is how Monteverdi actually wanted this aria to be sung, or whether this was one of the singers that worked for Monteverdi had decided that this was exactly what was going to be sung, and this was notated as an example of this particular performance practice. But anyway, it's very enlightening to take a look at the score and to look at that aria and see what either happened or what was expected to happen in a performance of this piece. It sheds light on everything that we do with the madrigals, especially the later madrigals, Book 8, Book 9 of Monteverdi, of what this music was intended to sound like. It's a great historical document.